Hunter x Hunter is famous for its world building. But one thing Togashi does better than almost any other writer is leaving things unexplained. Not small details, major mysteries, abilities we never fully saw, characters whose true power was never revealed, entire continents that humanity is too afraid to explore. And some of these mysteries are so big, they might completely change how we understand the Hunter x Hunter world. Today we're breaking down the 10 biggest Hunter x Hunter mysteries that were never solved. And the deeper we go, the stranger things get. Why these mysteries matter. Hunter x Hunter doesn't explain everything, and that's intentional. Togashi often introduces ideas, then leaves just enough clues for fans to speculate, which means some of the most important questions in the series remain unanswered. Like, what exactly is Ging capable of? What was Kite's secret weapon? And what is really waiting on the Dark Continent? Let's start with a mystery that could completely change the way Nen works. Number 10. Basho's true Nen. Potential. Basho's ability seems simple. Great haiku. If he writes a proper 575 poem, the effect becomes reality. He can create flames. He can impose conditions. He can even force truth out of people. But here's the mystery. We never see the true limits. Could Basho write, "Aura fades like winter snow. Nen dissolves where my verses go"? Would that cancel abilities? Could he create terrain hazards? Could he impose conditions on entire battlefields? We never find out. Because Basho barely explores the ability himself. Which raises the question, is one of the most powerful Nen abilities in the series being used by someone who never pushed it to its limits? And if that mystery seems small, the next one could change everything we know about Resurrection. Number 9. What was Crazy Slots? Number 3. Kite's ability, Crazy Slots, generates weapons randomly. Numbers 1 through 9. But we only see a few, the Scythe, the Carbine, and number 3. When number 3 appears, the clown says something strange. Good number. It never says that for any other weapon. Then Kite dies. And later, he's reincarnated. Ging even hints that Crazy Slots has a special number that appears when Kite refuses to die. Which means one of those numbers might include a resurrection mechanism. Was number 3 responsible? Was Crazy Slots designed with a survival failsafe? Or was Kite's reincarnation purely a chimera ant phenomenon? We never get confirmation, and the remaining 6 numbers remain completely unknown. But the next mystery involves a character whose abilities we barely saw at all. Number 8. What is Ging Freaks' real ability? Ging is constantly described as one of the greatest Nen users alive. But here's the strange part. We never see his true ability. During the election arc, Ging copies Leorio's punch technique almost instantly. He says he can replicate abilities simply by understanding how they work. That alone is absurd. But it raises a huge question. Is Ging's Nen ability copying techniques? Or is he simply that skilled? Some fans believe Ging is a Nen mimic, capable of replicating abilities through pure understanding. Others believe he hasn't even shown his real ability yet. And considering Ging is preparing to explore the Dark Continent, whatever his true power is, we still haven't seen it. One thing that makes Ging even more mysterious is that other top hunters treat him with extreme respect. Even people like Beyond Netero acknowledge him. And the Hunter Association itself considers Ging to be in the top 5 Nen users in the world. But we never see him in a real fight. No serious battle. No full ability reveal. Which almost feels intentional. Togashi introduces Ging as someone who is clearly powerful, but refuses to show us why. And that creates a huge mystery. Because if someone like Hisoka is obsessed with fighting strong opponents, why has he never gone after Ging? Is Ging avoiding fights on purpose? Or is his ability something so unusual that traditional combat doesn't even apply to him? But Ging isn't the only mystery tied to the Dark Continent, because one character might know more about it than anyone. Number 7. What did Dawn Freaks discover? Don Freaks is one of the oldest mysteries in the entire series. He supposedly wrote Journey to the New World, a massive book documenting the Dark Continent. Only the East Edition has ever been found. The West Edition is missing, meaning half of the story is gone. But the most disturbing part, Don might still be alive. If he reached the Dark Continent centuries ago, he could still be exploring it, which raises terrifying possibilities. How did he survive? What did he discover? And why has the rest of humanity never been able to follow him? Because the Dark Continent isn't just dangerous, it's almost impossible to survive. Which leads to the next mystery. Number 6. The 5 Calamities. The Hunter Association lists 5 disasters from the Dark Continent. Each one is beyond catastrophic. AI, a gaseous life form. Brian, a massive botanical weapon. Pap, an unknown predator. Zobe disease, an immortality plague. Hellbell, a serpent that drives victims insane. But the mystery isn't just what they are, it's where they came from. Are these creatures natural, or are they the result of something even worse? The Dark Continent might not just be a wilderness, it might be a completely different ecosystem with rules humanity doesn't understand. And those calamities might only be the beginning. But even inside the human world, there are mysteries that Nen experts still can't explain. Number 5. Post-mortem. Nen normally fades after death. But sometimes, it gets stronger. This is known as post-mortem Nen. In most Nen systems, death should end the ability. But in Hunter x Hunter, strong emotions can anchor aura to the world even after the user is gone. Hatred, obsession, revenge. Those emotions can cause Nen to linger and evolve, which is why some Nen abilities actually become more dangerous after the user dies. Hisoka is the clearest example. When his heart stopped, his Nen activated automatically and restarted his body. But that raises a terrifying question. If someone designed an ability specifically around dying, how powerful could that become? Could someone create a Nen curse that lasts forever? Could someone build an ability that activates only after their death? If that's possible, then some Nen users might become more dangerous after they're gone. And we may not have seen the most extreme examples yet. We see it with Hisoka. We see hints of it with Kurapika's chains. But the full mechanics are still unknown. Why does Nen sometimes become stronger after death? Can someone intentionally design abilities around it? Could someone create an ability that activates only when they die? And if that's possible, how far could someone push it? Because the next mystery might involve someone who has already mastered it. Number 4. What is Pariston actually planning? Pariston Hill is one of the most unpredictable characters in the series. Former vice chairman of the Hunter Association, manipulator, genius strategist, and possibly the most dangerous political mind in the story. But his true goal? Still unclear. He recruits thousands of chimera ant hybrids. He constantly sabotages the association, and he seems more interested in chaos than power, which raises a terrifying possibility. Pariston may not be trying to win. He may be trying to destabilize the entire system, and if that's the case, the next mystery could be even more dangerous. Number 3. The true power of the Royal Guards. The Royal Guards are already some of the strongest characters in the series. But here's what we never see. Their full potential. P2 invents Dr. Blythe instantly. Poof creates abilities based on emotions. UP evolves mid-battle. These abilities develop on the spot. And that's something almost no other characters in the series can do. Most Nen users spend years developing a single ability. Kurapika spent months refining his chains. Hisoka trained his bungee gum technique for years. But the Royal Guards were inventing new powers in the middle of combat. P2 created Dr. Blythe moments after realizing the king needed medical support. UP literally mutated new abilities during battle as his emotions evolved. That suggests their Nen growth wasn't limited by normal human rules. Their aura output was already monstrous. But their rate of evolution might have been even more terrifying. Which means if the Chimera ants had survived longer, the Royal Guards might have continued evolving far beyond what we saw. And that leads directly to the biggest mystery about their king, which suggests something incredible. Royal guards might have nearly limitless Nen evolution. If the Chimera Ant King had lived longer, what could his guards have become? And that leads directly to the biggest mystery about the Ant King himself. Number 2, Meruem's true potential. Meruem was already unstoppable, but he was only alive for about 40 days. In that time, he mastered Nen, defeated the chairman, evolved multiple abilities, and his ability Aura Synthesis lets him permanently gain power by consuming Nen users. And the terrifying part is that this ability compounds over time. Every powerful opponent Meruem consumes makes him permanently stronger. Stronger aura, stronger Nen, stronger physical ability. By the end of the Chimera Ant arc, he had already absorbed 2 royal guards, and the difference was enormous. His aura output skyrocketed, his perception improved, his power evolved again, and that happened in just a few minutes. Now imagine that growth continuing for years. If Meruem had traveled the world consuming powerful Nen users, there might eventually have been no one left capable of challenging him. Which makes one thing very clear. Humanity didn't defeat Meruem with strength. They defeated him with something far darker. The poor man's rose, meaning his growth had no visible limit. If Meruem had lived even a few years longer, he might have surpassed every Nen user in history, maybe even the Dark Continent creatures themselves. But the number one mystery in Hunter x Hunter is much bigger than any character, because it involves the world itself. Number 1. What is really on the Dark Continent? The Dark Continent is enormous. The known world is just a tiny island. Everything humanity knows exists in a small lake called Lake Mobius. Outside that lake lies a continent filled with unknown species, unexplored ecosystems, and creatures far more powerful than anything we've seen. 5 official expeditions have already tried to explore it. Almost none survived, and every expedition brought back a disaster, which means one terrifying possibility remains. The monsters we've seen so far might be the weakest things living there. Hunter x Hunter is full of answers, but it's the mysteries that make the world feel so huge. Kite's unknown weapons, Ging's true power, the missing half of Dawn Freaks' book, and an entire continent humanity barely understands. And if the story ever fully continues, some of these mysteries could become the most important reveals in the series. But until then, which Hunter x Hunter mystery do you want solved the most?